This is the XRP 1 month overview reading for the month of November 2025. It's currently October 31st, 2025, 11:40 p.m. Eastern Time. XRP at the time of this reading, $2.51. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the XRP reading for November was created on October 23rd, 2025 at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the video playing for you here. So we're going to give you one of the best trades that we see for the month of November. As part of the day-by-day sequence of chart events. It's important, if you're new to the channel, pay attention. This is really important. So we're predicting the sequence of chart events. The timing is usually on point to the day, but these cards going left to right across the screen are what we call timeline cards in SO meta-analysis. And in the case of a 1 month, they represent about 1 day of time, but not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 1 day of time. And for that reason, sometimes in these monthlies, you'll need to give, especially the cryptos, plus or minus 1 to 3 days even. It's a sequence of chart events that's most accurate and most important to follow. And that's why I don't recommend trading this information alone. You should paper trade this and use it as proof that extrasensory perception exists and can be used practically in the real world. There's no way to fake this, guys. You can't change the date that the video was posted. Like, it's not possible. So on YouTube anyways. But with that said, guys, we're going to get into all that right after we take a look at our October reading. We had a similar thing going on with all the cryptos. Guys, I want to say real quick, if you expect me to get it right every single month after month, I mean, that's just human error. And you can see how we got the lows pretty solid, but again, in this crypto reading, the highs were off. But again, it was also an important opportunity to be buying at the lows. That's what I was instructing people to do, buy at the lows for long term, for multi-day swing trades. And you can see we had a low here on the 10th. What it ended up being on the 10th. We had it for the 9th, so it was a day off, but that was pretty significant low. There was another low on the 17th. Another low on the 22nd, 23rd, we had it for the 24th, and then another low at the end of the month. We were expecting to have highest highs for the month here between these two lows, but that didn't take place. It ended up being here at the beginning of the month like the other crypto readings. But again, guys, we were instructing in real time on the Discord to open up long positions, and the timing of those long positions being opened would have been on point. So this stuff is valuable, obviously, and that's why people subscribe to this stuff. So let's get into it, the day by day. So we have a rally increasing with momentum moving forward throughout the day on the 1st, with even like a breakout, but it's possibly like a false breakout. There's some tricky chart behavior taking place there, and we see a trough around the cusp of the 1st, 2nd, with sideways rotation, and then another big move to the upside out of the sideways rotation and into the 3rd, where the move continues higher, reaching for distant resistance. And there's possibly a breakout there, at least temporarily. We have a lot of price change covered on the 4th. A prominent peak, a prominent trough on, a prominent peak on the 4th. And that's on the scale of a 1 month chart with 1 day candlesticks, unless otherwise specified. But there's a lot of price change covered there. There's probably a move to the upside and then back down. And then on the 5th, we have another period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher and another prominent peak. That's all before a drop into a trough on the 6th with an unexpected move out of it to the upside into sideways rotation on the 7th that ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us into a peak on the 9th that we sell off from through multiple support levels. And then there's a breakout to the upside early in the day on the 9th, taking us into a peak midday on the 9th. And then that's followed by a sharp decline into a trough with sideways rotation at the bottom of the trough there on the 9th. Then we have even lower price levels on the 10th with a breakout move to the upside on the 10th. Prominent trough around the cusp of the 10th, 11th. And somebody should be speaking there as well. That'll impact XRP, at least XRP, maybe crypto. But what they're speaking on can be relied upon and trusted. And there's an important multi-day range highlighted on the 12th. Let's see if it's range bound or what end of the range it's at. Let's see if we can figure that out. So it's hard to say, but it may be that we're at the bottom of a range, and then we're at the top of a range again around the 12th, 13th, because there's this breakout card, which is a cross-reading congruency with the previous month's preview card for XRP in November. There's a full card opportunity on the 14th with a sharp drop, so a trough around the cusp of the 13th or the 14th. Before a notable move into a prominent peak around the cusp of the 14th, 15th, or in the 15th. A lot of price change coverage to the upside and then the downside, but be careful with that unicursal. There should be a really sharp drop there. It's just that sharp drop probably ends with a fast sun move higher. On the 16th, mixed sideways S formation within a channel, so pretty mixed behavior. Sideways rotation on the 17th, followed by a move higher, and then more sideways rotation at a higher price level there. Declining into the 18th, but that decline reverses either at the end of the day on the 18th or on the 19th, taking us into a prominent peak or pushing the upper end of a range higher. We rally into key resistance on the 20th and then decline from that resistance past the point at which the rally into it started, taking us into a trough on the 21st. And there's a big move to the upside around the cusp of the 21st, 22nd, taking us into a prominent peak. From that, a sharp drop, and then sideways rotation, revisiting a support level we recently met with a sharp drop in a period of sideways rotation. And then multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the 23rd, a prominent peak towards the end of the day, and then a lot of price change to the downside between the 23rd into the 25th, where we have a prominent trough somewhere between the 25th and the 28th. A lot of price change to the downside, then sideways rotation, an important technical price level highlighted on the 27th. That's important on like a one-year chart scale. Prominent trough on the 28th with a decline increasing with the momentum moving forward into it, and then a big move out of oversold territory to the upside on the 29th. On the 30th, we have a rally that turns over, a rally along a diagonal trend line that turns over with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Sneak preview for December is a period of volatility and a sharp drop in that period of volatility. As far as the timing of the highs and the lows, I get into that in the Discord, which I'll show you guys how to get at the end of this video. Yeah, but it's possible. Hard to say if we're going to be higher or lower. I think we probably see another high in December, but the thing is, we were kind of off on the 1 year, right? We nailed the low. It's been the theme in these crypto readings for November. We nailed the low on the 1 year reading. But like we were expecting to go higher, consecutively higher throughout the end of the month, and it looks like we had consecutively lower spikes up on the way down into this trough that we should see in November. And then the abundance card is encouraging, but hard to say, guys. In any case, with the multi-year reading, I was saying that this would be around 2025. This would be at $10. We had a lot of progress. We didn't make it to $10, but the multi-year readings, you have to give them plus or minus a year of wiggle room. So that probably means we're seeing $10 in 2026. And I'll have to look in and do a 2026 one-year reading, or have somebody order it. That way it gets done. My God. But either way, I'm going to have to look at a 2026 one-year reading to tell you that. So probably the best trade, if I was going to make a solid trade here, so I would probably get into a long position. If we're at a lowest low thus far, at least here on the 11th or the 10th or the 11th, I would get into a long position to close a long position when we break out to the upside through the upper end of a range here between the 12th and the 13th. But again, guys, paper trade that stuff. If you really are serious about trading this information, you need this Discord channel. We give you the highs and the lows for the month, and there's a chat channel. You can ask as many questions as you want about XRP. All of that as part of the monthly access subscription. You go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. The monthly access subscription gets you everything early access subscription gets you, plus all the information that you saw for this video for all of these tickers and crypto symbols here, as well as the access to the highs and the lows and trade advice throughout the month. $300 for a month, guys. You make it back in one trade. So much love to everybody supporting the channel that way. You guys are awesome, allowing us to do this full time. And blessings to all my angel investors following that resource, the Rule of Karma on the resources tab of that website, tarotfortraders.com. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.